Well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the hell you are. It's time for an MC Chap live show coming at you. Now, this is going to be a rather short show for you, and there is a reason for that. I don't know if you guys have noticed in recent streams. I don't know. You may notice something about me has been a little off. Um, I want to start by saying, and I don't mean to cause any concern by saying this. The live streams on Twitch will continue. You'll see highlights from that kind of stuff. I'll even make YouTube specific videos in the future. But for the time being, this is very likely the last time I will be doing MC Chap Live in this format. And there are several reasons for that. One, it never really did materialize like I thought it would. I was hoping this would, be kind of a big, talk show podcast kind of thing. But one thing you may know about me is that I'm not good at short-term planning, and it never really. Things never really came about that I wanted to happen. And usually, and another thing I've noticed about YouTube is my best performing material is pre-recorded. Almost, it's, I don't think it's entirely my fault. I feel like it's YouTube. YouTube live streams just don't do well, and it's not just me. I've seen it from, some of my friends like Matt Zion from Reckless Eating. He tried that at one point when he had his first ban from Twitch, and he tried streaming on YouTube, and the traffic was just not there. The algorithm just didn't work in his favor, and it doesn't seem to work in anyone's favor when it comes to live streams. So, with that said, the vast majority of what you're going to see from here on out is going to be either some old content or pre-recorded content that I've done. And also, I don't know if you're a fan of my broken news segment. I'll be doing that later on. But I want to turn that into kind of a pub trivia thing. I want to pre-record it. I want to get everyone together once a month and maybe have everyone participate in that, because my audience has been so inconsistent lately that I feel like the only way I can make it work is if we do it in one big chunk, say at the end of the month or something, and we recap all of the crazy and bizarre news stories, and everybody plays the game Broken News. So I feel like that'll work out a lot better in the long run. So things are probably going to change for the better by not trying to do everything live, because that is kind of stressful, tense, perilous in and of itself, because you're on the spot. You can't go back and edit something out. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm pretty mistake prone. The other reason that I am probably not going to be streaming this anymore, this particular show, is that I'm wanting to devote Saturdays to self-care. I don't know if you heard me say it earlier. I don't know if you've seen something about me. Something seems a little off. My health has been kind of down in the dumps. If you remember last week, I could not finish the show because I was feeling so awful. In fact, I'll just say it right now. I almost relapsed with my addiction. That's what was making me feel so sick. So I've been wanting to. I haven't had a lot of time to take care of myself, and I want to set aside a day to do just that, because I want. I want to be as presentable as I possibly can to my audience, and I'm usually like that during Fweet streams and Fall Guys streams and stuff like that. I'm sure you've seen it quite a bit. But yeah, that's kind of how it's going to be from here on out. I've got a little stuff going on in Discord. See, this is what I meant by, going live is probably the most one of the most risky and stressful ways of pumping out content, because you're on the spot and sometimes you're multitasking, like, excuse me, I'm having to do right now. Just got to reply to something on Discord real quick. Okay. So, to recap what I just said, YouTube live streams are going to cease, hopefully temporarily, but you will be able to catch me every week, actually twice a week, at least twice a week. We've got the Fall Guy, we got Free Fall on Friday, of course, and we've got Fleet Sunday. You will be able to catch me on twitch.tv/EmceeCh4p, and since the whole simulcasting thing they've been cracking down on that kind of thing, especially for affiliates like myself. It's just not worth the risk, I feel like, at this point. So, all right. Another thing I want to point out is I do need to lay out a little ground rule, and this is, this is just me. I'm just the way I am. I can't help it. But I've noticed a few people. I'm not going to call out anyone in particular, but I've noticed a few people that seem really, really eager to be a part of, a lot of things, and a lot of things that I do on stream, and that's great. But I need to make it clear that the only time that, like, viewers or stuff like that outside of my normal squad are allowed to, like, play Fall Guys or participate in discussions or something like that is when I personally give them an invite. And I do appreciate you guys for, making sure to ask first, but I need to reiterate, I'm not always going to answer your question, and it's not always going to be a positive answer. So all I'm saying is just stay on your toes and be respectful of my privacy, my boundaries, because I can get those can make questions like that can make me a little tense sometimes. I don't know why, but it's just the way I'm built. So from here on out, like if I'm gonna have somebody outside of my normal circle in my streams, it needs to be through an official invite. I will PM you, like, if something comes up, and I know that you have, like, a good setup, a good mic, good demeanor, something like that. I will like message you and shoot you and like shoot you an invite, and we'll go through kind of I wouldn't call it screening, but I'll just lay down a few ground rules and stuff like that. But please be mindful of that. Please don't beat me over the head wanting to do things. I'm happy you want to do things with me, but only when I feel like it. That's the way it's going to be. So, hope I've made it clear, and I know that may be a little upsetting to some of you, but it's just the way it needs to be to keep my peace of mind, so I can keep my head screwed on straight, think straight, and do a good show. Anyway, so as for the immediate future of this channel, the far future, the far future of this channel is just kind of up in the air. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be doing later this year. I am finalizing plans to do our big, like, a Bix Bros reunion in Los Angeles. We haven't seen each other in almost 4 years, so we're going to... I'm about to once I get, like, rent and utilities and stuff taken like that taken care of this weekend, I'm gonna book my flight, and the folks and I will have a discussion about a hotel, and you will see, hopefully, plenty of vlog material, either at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Our big thing is going to be at the beginning of November. It's going to coincide with Shay's 27th birthday. We're wanting to make it as awesome as possible for them, and I mean it, because, like, they've never gotten to do anything like this, and we want to, start things off with a bang. In the immediate future, however, you will see a few more YouTube shorts. I've noticed those have gotten a lot of ground. I might bring a little bit of my TikTok material. I might bring a little bit of my TikTok material over to YouTube. See if I can just branch out a little bit right there. I've already done that, actually. I'm a little torn with, like, certain stream highlights and stuff like that. I'm wondering if I should just upload those as shorts, or if I should make those, like, official uploads. So I'm gonna sleep on that for a little while. As for, like, big projects I have in mind, of course, you will hopefully we will get Broken News to be a fairly regular series on this channel. I think you remember this past spring, I had said something about wanting to do a show called Nintendo Jeopardy, and a lot of that was in response to the popularity of Foozle's Nintendo High. That actually got a lot of traction, and that we're a pretty tightly knit family over on his end. And hey, you never know, I might even get an opportunity to collab with them. But I'll keep you posted on that. As for Nintendo Jeopardy, however, I've kind of slacked off on it for the last several months. I've had a thing in Photoshop. The clue template has just been sitting there. I've had a thing sitting, articles about the history of Nintendo sitting over here, and I just haven't gotten around to them. I've been doing other stuff. I need to really, really, really fix my habit of binge watching on YouTube, because if you know me, and I'm sure a lot of you are like this, you like to watch after a certain period of time. You're kind of in a fog, and you like to watch things you watched a month ago, and it just repeats again and again and again and again. That's another habit, besides drinking too much alcohol, that I'm trying to kick. And those are two big things getting in the way of me being creative on this channel. I might even enlist a few people, see if they have any ideas, see what they want to see, and get some ideas from them. Especially when you get some ideas from my Twitch and Discord family. I'll probably, actually, now that I think of it, I might even put a suggestions chat in my Discord. That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. So, if I remember, of course, later tonight, I will pop in a chat for suggestions. I will let people leave said suggestions, and we can, kind of go from there. I'll see if it's a good idea, and I'll toy with the idea. I'll see how I can make it work. But in terms of the channel, again, I haven't green-lighted any EAS scenarios yet, and I do want to say something about said EAS scenarios. I have a few in mind. I have about 4 there that are going to play out pretty long. But unfortunately, since it's kind of a risky genre, and unless I just revolutionize the way I do it, those might be the last ones I do until further notice. So if my scenarios are your kind of thing, I hope I could impress with those last few. As for when they're coming out, I have no idea. I haven't started on any of them. But again, if I'm looking for originality in my content. So, and I did succeed with that in the past, but I feel like it's kind of become a little cliche, so to speak. And I'm gonna see what I can do about that. But it's gonna take a while. So please be patient. Bear with me. I appreciate the patience out there. Especially those of you who have been so understanding that I've been waiting on scenarios like Perpetual Motion 3, which will be the final segment, by the way. I appreciate everyone's patience. I will just, get around to it when I get around to it. I've been dealing with a lot of things in life, which I will touch up on in just a moment. But that's about all I have news-wise for this channel. So, as always, I appreciate everyone, sticking around for the content. You will see more of it. It just won't be in the live stream format. Well, not on a regular basis anyway. If you want to see regular gaming live streams and stuff like that, that's where I am live on Twitch, twitch.tv/EmceeCh4p. I am a Twitch affiliate. And you can get, I'm working on a few perks that I can do on that channel, but hopefully you can join me over there as well. That's about it for my, the state of the channel, so to speak. As for, as for how things have been going with me lately, it's been a hell of a week. I don't know. I'll upload a clip of it from last Sunday, but if you were watching my Twitch stream last Sunday, we were playing 100% Orange Juice. Great game, by the way, but I'm going to post a clip at about 5:30 local time, my phone sounded off for a tornado warning on stream. And believe it or not, I managed to stream. I managed to keep the stream alive as the culprit storm of what I'm about to mention blew through. You saw me looking up at the window very frequently, and I saw what looked like debris almost spinning in the air, and I was shocked. I was shocked that the stream was still alive. Well, my luck was short-lived. I did manage to draw out the stream to relative completion anyway. And I did conclude it a little early, but 3 hours later, it was around 9 o'clock Central Time in the evening. I was just about to do a shoot for TikTok. For those of you who don't know, on TikTok, I'm a cosplayer. I do that on Instagram as well, EmceeCh4p.cos. At about 9 o'clock that night, I was setting up for a TikTok shoot. Had lights, had camera, had everything ready. Just as I was reaching over to hit the record button, the lights go out, and a split second later, I heard an explosion. Which implies that, apparently, hours after the storm came through, a tree finally gave and fell on something important. And I was just thinking to myself, okay, we're just going to have to try this again tomorrow when I have power. What an ironic thought. Let me just say, I pretty much drained my gas tank and certainly got a workout because my power was out for 5 days. Now, I know what you're thinking. First world problems. Yeah. First world problems, first world child, still a first world life, but I had never experienced a 5-day power outage in my life, especially at my own, with my own roof over my head. So, lucky for me, my parents still live about 30 miles away, and I was able to work from home and, just seek refuge there for a little while. Finally, yesterday, when I was on my lunch break, the office had gained power a little before my apartment did, but finally, on my lunch break yesterday, I came back to the place to check on it, and there was a whirring noise under the floor. It was the generator. Everything was back on. I walked into the smell of rotting vegetables in the sink because I forgot to clean that out before I abandoned ship. Took care of that. Set up shop on stream, on Twitch stream yesterday. Of course, if you watched my Twitch stream yesterday, you saw pretty much a demonstration of the perils of live streaming, especially when you have a hacker / stalker after one of your best friends. So yeah, that was pretty bad. I did manage to at least successfully do a live stream yesterday while leaving most of that behind. And in the end, for me anyway, it worked out pretty well. As for the power couple, I'm just keeping in touch with them, making sure everything's okay, and hopefully we won't have to have a legal battle with the culprit of the whole situation that transpired yesterday. So that's what's been going on last week. This is a holiday weekend for many of us. For me, it's a 4-day weekend, and as soon as I woke up, I was up really late last night, I must say. As soon as I woke up, things were already going tits up in the world. As soon as Pride Month ends, of course. It has become bloody obvious that Twitter has basically just become Elon Musk's plaything. Have you noticed that? He bought the platform, and he's still running it into the ground. And with today's limiting on what you get to see and how much you get to see, especially for those who don't have that mythical blue check mark. Status symbol, am I right? But yeah, that is a factor in what and how much you see on Twitter. So, yes, you are not going to see me on Twitter very much. In fact, if you follow me on Twitter, you may notice that I put out notifications for when I go live. I didn't do that this time. I didn't feel a reason to, because I don't think anyone would see it anyway. Nope. But yeah, world's a dumpster fire. But thankfully, I've managed to, kind of recover. And I'm having a pretty good holiday weekend. And things are looking up. So, speaking of dumpster fires, it's about that time again. And this is probably the last time we're going to do it live. Let's do some broken news, shall we? Now, let me say another thing about broken news. This was really... It was this in the gaming segment that I really drew the most pleasure out of. But I'm going I already do gaming live streams, and I can just put some highlights and stuff like that, compilations, on my YouTube channel. And as with broken news, I feel like it could be something a lot better than what I've got going on right now. So I almost thought about just doing an all broken news live stream, but I feel like it would be better with a little production value to it. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, let's get into these hellish headlines. Number 1. Wait, I'm on the wrong tab. Okay. This is interesting. This is from Know Your News. Hopefully this isn't satire. All right. Shared on June 28th. A property company who is responsible for naming streets, has named some of them after blank. You have 30 seconds starting now. Think about all the things you can name a street after. And it's definitely not anything cliche like U.S. presidents, U.S. states, historical figures, otherwise. Just use your imagination, and keep in mind, yes, it is. It is already time for broken news. I just had to lay down a few things. I told you this was going to be short and sweet. That is your time right there. So, being mindful of the generation we live in nowadays and who are the property managers, you might be interested in this community if you're a fan of this certain thing. A new housing development popping up in Las Vegas is making headlines for its streets being named after several different Pokemon. Okay? Property company Harmony Homes decided to go against the grain and name the streets in the neighborhood of Henderson. Actually, I think that's a whole suburb of Vegas. Name the streets in parts of Henderson after Pokemon characters. These streets range from names like Squirtle Lane, Jigglypuff Place, and Snorlax Lane. How would you like a house on Snorlax Lane? Andrea Miller, the project construction manager of the new housing development, said they chose Pokemon names since they aren't typically used for streets. Well, I guess that makes sense. Oftentimes, it can be a challenging process when submitting names for a new neighborhood, since many of them might already be in use elsewhere. Miller has two sons, aged 11 and 14, that are both obsessed with Pokemon, which is how she came up with the idea to name the streets in that manner. I like that. I don't think that's that stupid. All right, let's see what else we got. All right. I actually heard this one on the radio. This is from USA Today, and this is the sad state of this country. Hold on just a second. All right. A woman in El Paso, Texas. A woman in El Paso, Texas, fatally shot an Uber driver, claiming that she was blank, or the Uber driver was doing blank. 30 seconds. Let's see what we got here. Julian, be mindful of what I said earlier. Remember, this is Texas. Remember, this is America. Remember, this is El Paso. Your time is up. So, a woman fatally shot an Uber driver in Texas. If you're thinking about Texas, you're thinking about El Paso, and more particularly America and the border. Police say she wrongly thought she was being kidnapped and taken into Mexico. Phoebe Copas, 48, who is from Tompkinsville, Kentucky, yeah, figures as much, was visiting her boyfriend in El Paso, Texas, when the driver was shot and killed. The El Paso Police Department said Copas shot 52-year-old Daniel Piedra Garcia in the head while he was driving her to a location in far southeast El Paso. According to a complaint affidavit, Copas saw traffic lines that read Juarez, Mexico during her ride and falsely believed she was being kidnapped and taken to Mexico. As we know, El Paso is right on the Rio Grande, bordering Mexico. El Paso police officers initially arrested and charged Copas on suspicion of aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. Uh, Copus was booked into the El Paso County Jail and remained jailed Sunday. With Pietro's death, the charge has been upgraded to murder. Copus' bond is now set at $1.5 million. You're not getting out of there. All right, let's see another one. Again, this is two weeks worth of broken news articles, so I'm very unlikely to run out of any of this. Okay, I was gonna do this one about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, but that's a little too ubiquitous. Excuse me. All right, I need to read this one before I... So, you know Ron DeSantis. Everyone knows Ron DeSantis. Little shit. Who is one of the Republican frontrunners for the presidential election next year. Ron DeSantis flooded his supporters' inboxes 3 times this week with the subject line, blank. Think about how fucked up this guy is in the head. 30 seconds starting now. His appeals for cash came fast and heavy ahead of a key fundraising deadline that happened just this week. I also find with a lot of Republicans, they don't understand sarcasm and they can't take a joke. Have you noticed that? Anyway. Time. There we go. So, in a mad dash for campaign cash, Republican presidential hopefuls are keying in on GOP voter fears. Yeah, they're taking advantage of that. And boy, this guy knows how to do it. Ron DeSantis flooded his supporters' inboxes 3 times this week with the subject line, "Do not tell my children that men can get pregnant." What? Nikki Haley branded several fundraising emails as a response to former President Barack Obama, contrasting his comments on race with her own vision. And then there is former President Trump, who largely focused on his own legal issues, which have proven a successful fundraising motivator for him in the past. Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. I told you. All right, that was from Politico. Let's see what else I can find. Affirmative action was overturned. That's real great. All right. You need to be in tune with the crazy news of the past couple of months to get this on your first try. A prominent... This is from boingboing.net. That's a great website name. A prominent evangelist warns that blank has triggered the end times. Ooh, scary. Let's see what he said. 30 seconds starting now. By the way, for those of you who are hoping that Rob would show up, I don't think he will. He unexpectedly was taken out on the town with family. But I'm sure he would know the answer to this one. Blank has triggered the end times. Speaking of times, it's up. So, you know how crazy evangelists can get. It sounds like the basis for a bad fantasy novel. An aluminum chalice, decorated with the colors of the visible light spectrum, being used by the evil king to trigger the end of the world. Well, at least it is, according to Stephen E. Strang, an influential evangelical leader and author of God and Donald Trump. Well, that should tell you enough right there. Who says Target, Kohl's, and Bud Light are part of a satanic plot that will usher in the end times, as prophesied in the Bible? What? Wait. No. Imagine Bud Light in the Bible. These are the same kind of people that think Jesus spoke English. Anyway, a prominent evangelist warned that Bud Light has triggered the apocalypse. I'm going to quote him, and this won't be pretty. My good friend, Jim Bakker, has studied the book of Revelation extensively and has provided great warnings about what is heading our way in this book. In his book, You Can Make It. He says Christians should stand up against the things of the world rather than conforming to them. The key to our survival is threefold: remain in Christ, keep his commandments, and remain in his holy body, the church. Escape is not an option. Endurance is our goal. Bud Light! My God, we're so fucked anyway. If anything's going to cause end times, it's these people. All right. 20 minutes left. Let's see if I can find enough articles to fill in that time frame. All right, from Washington Post. This is a Florida man article. I'm sure you know how this is going to go. A homeowner fired 30 shots at blank when he was mistaken for an intruder. 30 seconds starting now. Why are people in Florida so paranoid? My God. I gotta tell you, this is a country that is breeding people to fear everything. I wasn't brought up that way. I don't know. It's what the politicians want because it's what gets them in office. It's what gets them their campaign money. Sad but true. All right. Time's up. Florida man fired 30 shots after someone arrived kind of off schedule. Carl Polek, a 33-year-old pool boy in Florida, was shot on June 15th when a homeowner mistook him for an intruder. When the pool cleaner arrived at the Dunedin, Florida home on June 15th, he carried a flashlight because it was already dark. The homeowner inside didn't recognize him and mistook him for an intruder trying to break into the house. Within minutes, the shooter fired his M4 carbine 30 times. Golly. Paranoid and violent people are, I tell you. All right. I don't know if this is Florida man or not. Cowboy State Daily. All right. Cowboy State Daily. Wyoming. Okay, that's where this was. You know, a lot of people get injured or even killed at Yellowstone National Park. Well, a couple that in fact, they're on video right here. They appear to be middle-aged. This video shows a pair ignoring warnings about blank and doing it anyway. 30 seconds. Think about what there is at Yellowstone National Park. Lots of crazy things. That kind of reminds me of a NBC reporter in Bozeman, Montana, who went on location and had to abandon his shot because of one of these hazards. But which hazard? That is the question. And there's your time right there. So you may be thinking of all of the things that are pretty dangerous at Yellowstone. You might run into a bear or a buffalo stampede. There's a lot of those. A lot of people have been hurt by the bison out in Yellowstone, and that's why the news reporter abandoned his shot a few years ago. But this video shows a couple ignoring warnings that say, do not touch the 175-degree thermals. You know, the hot water, the like Old Faithful and stuff like that. They bent over and touched it. They were warned. They did it anyway. This video had a man holding the hand of a young woman. Hang on. Had a man holding the hand of a young woman lost his grip as she stretched precariously to dip the fingers of her opposite hand into a Yellowstone thermal pool. The park might have had another floating foot mystery on its hands. Heard of those? Instead, as another tourist recorded it, the unidentified woman exclaimed, "It's really hot," and scampered away in obvious pain. No shit. God. 175-degree waters. That you can get third-degree burns from that shit. Always reminiscent, of course, of the Florida foot. Oh, there he is.
Yes.
We have a few more articles left. But this was about the dumb woman who bent over to touch the Yellowstone thermal pool. And of course, in the most gruesome incident of this kind, a human foot still in its shoe was found floating in the abyss pool in the West Thumb Geyser Basin last August.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I was listening to that whole thing and I just kept thinking, lady.
Yes.
Ma'am. Woman.
And you got to say this. It says in the middle of the article, absolutely right. This is reminiscent of Florida man cases.
Yeah, and of course that's where all of our minds went.
Mm-hmm. So I think you heard the first Florida man article. I don't know if that can be topped, but let's see if we can find something good. Again, 2 weeks. 2 weeks worth of articles I'm going through. Okay.
I mean, of course, there's nothing more broken in the news than a man sinking $44 billion into a website and then limiting
Yes.
people who don't have his subscription service to a certain number of views per day. Whenever that's literally how you're going to make your money back.
You did hear what I renamed Twitter earlier in the stream, right?
No, I just joined in the
Okay.
live.
Elon's Plaything is what I started calling it.
Oh yeah, no, that I'm not gonna lie. I'm almost disappointed. I was expecting something a little more savage than that.
Well, I didn't. Again, I covered earlier in the stream that I'm only on the spot so many times.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, we got a child molester here. Let's see.
Oh no. I was gonna say enough about the elongated muskrat, but
tried after the jury found him guilty of molesting his partner's daughter. He tried to kill himself. How so?
oh god.
30 seconds.
Oh.
Again, any of you guys just joining us, this is the only segment we're going to be doing. The live streams are going to be, until further notice, exclusive to Twitch, and all I'm going to be posting here is like highlights from that kind of thing and pre-recorded broken news stuff we plan on doing in the future. As for the immediate future, I do plan on using Saturday as a self-care day from here on out. So, time's up.
Okay. I actually have two things I thought of. One being sort of a prison term, and one being just the sort of ridiculousness that might fit. And I'll start with the ridiculousness one.
Okay.
by bashing his head against the judge's podium.
That's pretty good. What was your other answer?
Oh, essentially going berserk, aka quote unquote suicide by cop.
Suicide by cop. Okay. Um, I don't think anyone would have gotten this. I wouldn't have even gotten this. You know how amok my mind runs sometimes. There was a dramatic moment in, this was in Australia, by the way. A child sex offender tried to kill himself by eating a Snickers bar laced with rat poison. I don't know why, but that reminds me of that scene in The Big Bang Theory when Wolowitz was initially faking an allergic reaction to, like, keep Leonard away from home so he could be surprised for his birthday party. And then he ended up eating a granola bar in his pocket.
You should have seen the look with my mouth agape whenever I first heard that method.
A man in the process of being found guilty of child sex offenses has scoffed a poisonous chocolate bar while seated in the prison dock. The elderly man, who cannot be named for legal reasons, was in the process of being delivered guilty verdicts on Friday over 4 child sex offenses when he produced the rat poison-laced Snickers bar. He had been on trial, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, in the county court in Victoria's West, where he was accused of molesting his partner's young daughter. It's a very aboriginal name for a county, so if I try to pronounce it, it might be offensive.
Gotcha. Testing? Okay. So wait, did he like actually consume it and it just didn't kill him? Or
I don't
was
know.
He not?
I didn't read any further than that.
Oh, okay. Like, cause I'm curious now. But yeah, you should have seen. Like, whenever I heard you say a Snickers bar laced with rat poison, my mouth must have been agape for a solid 10 to 15 seconds.
Mm.
I'm sure you can understand why.
This is another one. I was talking about this earlier, and it was about the other Yellowstone hazard. The article says Yellowstone visitors treat bison like zoo attraction and refuse to back off. Well, you fuck around and find out.
Oof.
Okay.
Oops.
Are people okay? That's what I think I ask that every week. Okay, already covered.
Yes, but we mostly hear about the ones that aren't.
Already discussed the paranoid Uber driver that thought she was being abducted to Mexico.
Oh yeah, I had heard about that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to click on this to know what it even is. Alright, well, New South Wales, we're still in Australia, by the way. New South Wales police confirmed to NCA Newswire that they and Transport New South Wales are aware of a certain incident involving a young man and are conducting inquiries. This took place on a winding road that is known for numerous accidents. What was this guy doing?
Oh, Lord.
Like, it's not super out there, but it's kind of out there. Time's already started, by the way.
I know. Oh, listen, whenever you give time, I already have my guess. And like,
I think this is something you might see in a third world country. Ding. Winding road, known for a number of crashes near Avalon Beach in Australia. What was this guy doing?
Jacking off.
I'm going to let you try again because that answer is way too cliche.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, you are getting a little more serious. He was
Said vehicle was in motion when this happened, by the way.
right. Okay, was he staring at something?
I don't know.
Ah. Okay, I throw in the towel.
Okay. Photo was taken by a concerned member of the public because on a winding road, this guy was riding on top of a bus. The person who took the photo posted on Facebook saying there was a small group of boys doing this while riding the 199.
I thought the subject of this story was the driver.
No. Yes,
Okay.
on this same stretch of road on June 11th, 10 wedding guests were killed when the bus taking them to their accommodation rolled while driving through a roundabout in the Hunter Valley at about 11:30 at night. All right, what is left? I've got about 5 minutes left. I swear I saw a really good one and I can't find it. Oh, here it is. This is from Forbes. I did disable my ad blocker. Fuck you. All right. Well, oh God. Now I can't even read the damn thing. A rural fire district in Oregon elected someone to the board after receiving 2 write-in votes. Who do you think it was? Time starts now.
I'm going to give the audience some time to answer this one because I know the answer to this one already.
You might have already read. You read this one already, or do you just have a hunch?
I've at least heard of this.
All right.
So, Julian or anyone else watching, feel free to guess.
Yeah. Out there. I wish Shay was here. I really should have invited them. All right. Okay. So, a particular person was elected to a rural Oregon fire district with 2 write-in votes. I don't even know why I gave 30 seconds. Think about rural people in this country. Mm-hmm. Who do you think they'd write in?
Yeah. Well, listen, like I said, all right. Time's up for anyone else trying to answer. It is one Donald John Trump.
Former President Donald Trump won an election to serve on the board of a rural fire district in Oregon after receiving 2 votes. Though, as someone who doesn't own property in the area, it's unlikely the ex-president will be able to take on the role.
Right. Yeah, the thing with certain parts of rural Oregon is kind of like the thing with certain parts of northern Idaho, if you catch my drift.
Oh my God. They're not that different from the bumfuck Ozarks, you know?
Yeah, I mean, fair.
All right.
I mean,
Harrison. Trump earned 2 write-in votes to be a board member in the Hubbard Rural Fire Protection District, a 7-mile district in western Oregon that's home to about 5,000 residents. All right. One more before we put the stream to bed for good and kind of change things up. By the way, for those of you who missed how I'm gonna do things going forward, I'll keep the stream on my channel, and feel free to listen to it. Up, 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 up. Okay, this is not the article, but I find it hilarious that this ended up in the news of the stupid subreddit. Want to feel closer than ever? Introducing Bearskin Raw, America's thinnest condom. That's an accident waiting to happen.
How would that even work? I mean, I've heard of like lambskin before.
B-A-R-E skin. It's a Trojan brand.
Oh.
Oh my god. You are more fucked up than I am. All right. Yeah, and again, one of the reasons I want to do this as a weekly upload instead of a stream is so I can get people in on it. Already talked about Bud Light. Oh god, yep, this was the one. All right. One more Florida Man article from Orlando Weekly. Oh, a young Florida man has been charged with animal cruelty for using a baby alligator to blank. And I like the heading below it. The heading below it says, "This isn't even the first time we've written about this."
Oh my lord.
So apparently someone's done this before. It's Florida. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
I have totally lost track of time. I'll give 20 seconds anyway.
Baby alligator.
Baby alligator. Think about, again, young man in Florida.
Oh, so it's not like scare people off his lawn. Okay.
Okay. Time's up. Again, this was a group of, this was a group of teenagers. Oh my god. This guy used a baby gator to do something. Think about what a crazy teenager on summer vacation would do.
I mean, would he use it to throw it off a bridge at a bunch of vehicles on the interstate?
Like as a prank? I mean,
kind of like it was a boulder.
That's a little tame compared to what it actually is.
Oh god.
All right. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has charged a Plant City miner. Oh my god, that's where Batten lives. Charged a miner with animal cruelty after seeing the worst kind of clout-chasing video circulating on social media. The video, recorded last Thursday in a Plant City Hardee's parking lot, that's Carl's Jr. for those of you west of the Mississippi, shows a group of teens handling a juvenile alligator roughly. One uses the gator's teeth to puncture a can of Twisted Tea, then shotgun the beverage, with the gator still clamped to the can. This fucker used an alligator to open a drink.
Why? You can literally just use one of those hole punch. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, you're shotgunning. You're not just opening the damn thing.
Yeah. I'm not talking about opening it. I'm talking about opening a small hole in the side of it. You know.
Well, this is Florida. This is like a 17-year-old. So.
Fair point.
Yeah. Dumb.
Dom dom, give me gom gom.
And still, I'm taken aback at the fact that I read this isn't even the first time we've written about this. Part of me kind of wants to know. Oh, God. Okay, yep, the related article, I think, is the article in question. All right. I actually like this headline even better. It's from May 2019. Florida man used an alligator to shotgun a beer while cranking Skinner.
Oh, help me! I can't.
I like that one better. Hell, that sounds like something that would happen here.
Oh, that sounds like something that would happen here.
Yeah.
Well, my here and your here are
Well,
not too different.
you're on the bayou, but I've got a lot of lakes settled in mountains, and it is.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Trump flags go by. You name
Same.
it. Yeah, you figure it out. And that is your broken news, and that is this week's MC Chap Live. Once again, not necessarily the show I envisioned, but I'm definitely not going to give up on it. So I'll keep you guys posted. In the meantime, I'm going to reserve Saturdays for a little bit of self-care, recovery, stuff like that. I am planning on taking some stream highlights, uploading those to the channel. And of course, if you don't want to miss broken news, we're going to try to get like a big session going. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but it will be drawn out over the course of a few weeks. It'll be shot in basically one or two sessions, but I'll try to make it, consistent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pump one out at the end of the week or something like that. In the meantime, I do appreciate you guys hanging out. Rob, I know you weren't here very long, but I appreciate your devotion into, just popping in. And in the next broken news, you'll certainly hear him. You might hear Shay. Hell, you might even hear Julian. Who knows? So we'll see how things work out. And in the meantime, YouTube fam, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to follow EmceeCh4p on Twitch. That's where I will be tomorrow. We will be doing the Fweet stream with Pommel Party. Hope you guys join me for that. In the meantime, if you like everything you see here, I'm all over the socials at EmceeCh4p. Be sure to have a heart and hit that heart. Bong that bell to know when I go live. On any platforms, for that matter. Mainly on Twitch for the time being. I may pump out a YouTube stream every now and then. But, again, if you want consistency, look for the uploads and look for the Twitch streams. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I will see you later.